Welcome back to the boy, shoe, and cone puzzle. I had made a previous video on this with a simpler explanation, but as a math teacher, I've had a few requests to do this using algebra. So here we go. My first step is to number these equations. So as you can see, I labeled them 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I want to then kind of define some variables. So looking at these images, I see two shoes, but there's also an image of a single shoe. So I'm just going to make my first variable a single shoe because I could express this two shoe image as 2x, right? Two of the shoes. And then I have another variable for the boy and another variable for the cone. Now you can see here we have two cones, but only one cone here. So I'm going to set my variable z to be one cone, because I can express this two cone image as 2z, two cones. All right, now let's create equations using the variables now. So looking at equation 1, I'm now going to express it with my variables. So I've got my two shoes, so 2x plus another two shoes plus my last pair of shoes, and that all equals 30. So let's go ahead and solve this equation because it's going to help us in the next one. So 2x plus 2x plus 2x is going to be 6x. And we can do that because each of these terms has an x in it, so we can simply go 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. My next step is to now try and get x alone. So I need to move that 6 to the other side. So I have 6 times x. I'm going to divide both sides by 6. So I get 30 divided by 6 over here, which gives me 5. So I know that a single shoe has a value of 5. All right, on to equation 2. So we have a boy, so which is y, plus a boy, plus we have our two shoes. That equals 20. I'm going to substitute in. So let's substitute x equals 5 into our equation 2. So I get y plus 2 times that value of 5 equals 20. So y plus y is 2y, right? Because you assume there's a 1 in front of each of these. So 1y plus 1y is 2y. And 2 times 5 is 10 equals 20. So let's bring this 10 to the other side. So we've got 2y equals 20 minus 10, which gives us 10. And now bring the 2 to the other side. We're going to divide both sides by 2, and we get 10 over 2, which gives us a final answer of 5. So we've got so far y equals 5 and x equals 5. Meaning a single shoe is 5 and the boy has a value of 5. Let's move on to equation 3. Let's do it over here. So equation 3 states we've got our two cones. Cones, as you recall, is z. So we have 2 of the cones plus another 2 cones plus my boy, which is y, equals 13. So we know the value of y. We know y is 5, so we're going to substitute that into this equation. We've got substitute y equals 5 into our third equation. So we get 2z plus 2z plus 5 equals 13. All right, so let's try and solve for z. We only have one variable, so that's perfect. So 2z plus 2z is 4z plus 5 equals 13. Now let's bring, first, we're going to bring this 5 over, and then we're going to bring the 4 over. So 4z, whoops, wrong color. 4z equals 13 minus 5, which gives us 8. And then divide both sides by 4, so we get 8 over 4 is 2. So we got x is 5, y is 5, and z equals 2. So looking at our final equation here, so equation 4, let's just zoom out a little bit for a second. Equation 4 states we've got one shoe, so x plus, here we need to be very careful with this image. So we have a lot going on. Let's zoom in on this guy. We got a boy, right? We've got a boy that has 2 shoes on and has 2 cones. So you've got this. And let's just reorder this in alphabetical order just so it's a little cleaner. So we've got 2x, or my 2 shoes, plus my 1 boy, plus my 2 cones. All right, let's put in our equation 2x. All right. So we have in our equation now 2x plus y plus 2z. That is going to be multiplied by the cone, which is a single cone, which is 2. And that is going to help us get our answer eventually. All right, so let's actually substitute in our values. Let's substitute in. Let's substitute x equals our 5, our y equals 5, and our z equals 2 into our equation 4. When we do that, we get 5 plus 2 times 5 plus 5 plus 2 times 2 times 2. Here we can make a mistake. Using BEDMAS, we first need to do what's in our brackets. So let's update this. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 5, 2 times 2 is 4. All right, let's keep going. We've got in our brackets here, so 10 plus 5 plus 4 is 15, plus 4 is 19, times the 2. Next thing, we must do the multiplication before adding. Remember to do that. So we get 19 times 2 is 38. And finally, we get 43. This is the final answer using algebra. All right, I hope this helped. Take care.